Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Love, Light, and Life Affirmed, your daily affirmations for self love and growth. Hi, Collective. Welcome back into the channel, you guys. So, this is going to be What's the News. I'm just going to pull from multiple different decks, you guys, just to kind of get a picture of a situation that's going on and try to see if I can give some clarity and give some advice as well in the situation. Um, Welcome back, all of my current followers and subscribers. Thank you so much for being here with me again. I always love having you with me. Thank you for all of your love and support. It is truly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. All of the incoming followers and subscribers, welcome in, you guys. Thank you for joining the Soul Tribe, and I always hope that the messages do resonate for you and help in some way, shape, or form. So let's see, you guys. What is the general, what's the situation here? Pull 3 from here. See what's going on. I hope you guys have been enjoying your weekend, morning, afternoon, or evening, or whenever you are catching this message. What's this one? Seemed like that one was hanging on. S.O.S. Distress. Act with urgency. Assistance is needed. Somebody's in need of some help here. What else? 2 more, please. One more, please. Okay, so we have S.O.S. Someone's in distress. Supersize me. Doing too much. Excessive overindulgent. Okay. And then we have Fuego. Fire. Chemistry. Intense passion. Things are heating up. So what I'm getting from this is somebody, I don't think they actually need help in the way that this seems. I feel like they're overwhelmed by the intense chemistry and passion they feel for somebody, and maybe this is not something they're used to. So they're like, SOS, someone help me figure out how to feel. I don't know how to feel these feelings that I'm feeling because I've never felt them before, type of thing. That's what it feels like. Um, and they feel like they're overly thinking about the situation with this supersize me, doing too much, excessive overindulgence. I feel like they feel overwhelmed because they know they have such deep feelings for whoever this is. So they are looking for somebody or someone to help them make sense of why their feelings are so intense. They are overindulging probably in behaviors that maybe they're trying to numb what they're feeling because maybe they don't feel like they should be feeling them. They don't want to feel them anymore. And if they're figuring out there's no way to get rid of these fuego feelings. I mean, this is intense what they're feeling at this time. Wow. Okay, let's get some characteristics about who can be involved in this situation. Wow. Well, at least it's not, help with something terrible. Detective, investigator of truth, someone's trying to figure out why is it they're feeling what they're feeling for this person. Someone is a volunteer involved in this. Selfless devotion, willingness, spirit of service, duty, dedication. Someone, it could be an architect Weaver of blueprints, planning, design, supervisor, construction. Okay. Let me get one more characteristic here. One more, please. One more, please. Master Shadow Walker Bushido. Somebody is a ninja. Maybe somebody's into the art, karate or jujitsu or something like that. But somebody has some feelings for someone else that are pretty intense, and they're trying to figure out the truth of the matter. Maybe they're trying to figure out if these are lustful feelings. They're trying to figure out why they're so intense. Again, I feel like this is someone who's not really ever dealt with their emotions on that scale, and so they don't really know what to do with them. And maybe they're doing things over the top here. Let's see. A new adventure in love is coming. Get ready. A window of opportunity. And maybe this scares this person because they don't want this opportunity. Maybe they can't take this new opportunity in love, and maybe that's why their feelings are so intense. They don't want to feel their feels, and they need to be saved from them. Yeah, they don't want to have these romantic feelings for this person. I wonder why. They feel like it's an illusion. That's why. They don't trust their own feelings. I mean, on the bottom of the deck here, you guys, this person is even thinking, oh, look at that. They're thinking that this is somebody who they're supposed to be with, but they feel like it's all an illusion, and it's tripping this person out because of how intense their feelings are. And again, it seems like this is not something they're used to feeling. Maybe this person has been single, or maybe they're already in a long-term relationship, and maybe this is just somebody they know in passing, or they see, every once in a while. Maybe this person is a volunteer somewhere, where they go. So they have something in common that they do together, but their feelings seem to be growing for this person, and they are trying to figure out how to get rid of them. Flexibility. Sometimes it's just best to go with the flow. Everything in life is not always going to go your way. Bend, but don't break. So, I mean, some advice for this person, whoever this is with these intense emotions. I mean, be flexible. Don't be so hard on yourself about it, because maybe they feel guilt that they're feeling, these emotions for this person who they shouldn't. And because they're so strong, because they're not used to feeling these type of intense emotions, I mean, obviously, look, they're thinking about, long term. They're thinking that this is a soul contract or somebody that's a soulmate here, but they feel like it's an illusion. They don't want to feel these romantic feelings. They can't walk through this window of opportunity. And so they're trying to get rid of these feelings. And with this ninja card, it's like they're trying to be, what's the word? They're trying to not make their emotions so noticeable. That's what I get here, especially with this person completely dressed up, fully covered. The only thing that you can see is their eyes. They're literally not wanting anyone to see any type of facial expressions, a smile, any type of emotions they have for this other person. Oh man. I mean, yeah, I think you guys got to relax a little bit here. I mean, it's, you can't really control. They're like, I can't survive this. I'm not going to be able to deal with this situation. Oh, no. I mean, emotions can be super intense, especially when you can't act on them, especially when, maybe there are feelings that you've had for someone for a very long time, and you feel restricted in some way. That definitely can make it make it difficult. Yeah, this person that they're trying not to feel desperate either, but and it's interesting how this falls under this mask here. So this tells me that it's actually reverse. So on the outside, they don't want to look desperate, but underneath this mask, they're overindulging in their feelings here. Interesting. Poor thing. I mean, it's like I said, it's not a. I mean, maybe I'm talking about someone who hasn't used their heart space in a very long time, and it's tripping them out. Yeah, this person's like, I need direction. Somebody tell me what to do here. How do I handle this? Where do I put these emotions? How do I resolve these feelings? How do I address this without making it obvious that I am overwhelmed and these feelings are super intense and I don't know how to feel about this person that I shouldn't have feelings for, but I do have feelings for. So I don't know what to do with the feelings because I don't know if actually what I'm feeling are illusions. Yeah, this person is in their head quite a bit and they need some direction. Stop, take a moment, catch your breath, but most of all, don't panic. This is your advice, whoever I'm talking to. Look around, regain your bearings, and trust yourself, okay? You will be fine. Yes, the feelings that you feel are very intense for this person. It doesn't mean that they're illusions. It's interesting because I think sometimes people feel that I'm gonna just give an example, right? People who are in long term marriages, there are some marriages that are more based on a contract, meaning there's really not a lot of romance involved in the connection. It's really more like a business deal. They are together because their assets allow them to live a very well off life. Yes, they have children together, but the two people involved really are not in love with each other in that romantic way. They have respect for each other. Everybody brings something to the table, but there's not a lot of romance involved. And then you meet someone randomly and you end up developing feelings that you haven't had to use in a very long time, even in your marriage. And you start to have these intense feelings for this person. And at first, it probably seems like it's more lust, right? Because again, if there's not a lot of romance involved in your marriage, maybe there's not a lot of physical activity that goes on, you know. And so you meet someone outside of this and you have these intense emotions that seem to be illusions. Maybe you just think they're lustful feelings, but you realize the feelings are not going away. You realize the feelings are just intensifying and getting stronger. The longer that you know this person, the more that you see them, you see how they are in the community. If they do volunteer work, maybe you find that very adorable about them. Maybe this person loves animals, maybe you love animals, but you have developed this strong emotion for this person. And so it brings this feeling of being out of control, this SOS feeling, save me. Like, what do I do with this? Because now you feel like you're overindulging in these emotions that you have for this person. Um, you shouldn't feel guilt or shame, especially if nothing has happened, but you can't control your emotions. You just have to try to understand them, try to grasp what's drawing you to this person. And again, maybe it's just emotions that you've never felt. So it's almost like a person who has fallen in love for the first time. And because they don't know what to expect or what it's supposed to feel like, they're panicking. That's what this feels like here. Oh, see if I can get any more on this. Yeah, I would say definitely don't feel bad. Don't panic here. Don't feel guilt. The I think the desperation that you're feeling underneath your ninja outfit here is the need to want to understand. why the feelings are so intense, why you feel this way. But can I tell you, love is such a strange thing. It's really not a black and white, look it up in the dictionary and you find your answer type of situation. It's never going to be that. Sometimes the heart doesn't realize what it's missing. Yeah, because I have this unhappiness in reverse. Maybe this, you didn't realize how unhappy you were in your current situation until you met this other person. And maybe that's why your feelings are so intense. They're so extreme that it almost scares you a little bit, because I feel like you always were in control before, but right now you don't feel empowered. You don't feel like you have control over your life right now, especially what you're feeling. And again, I feel like I'm talking to somebody who has always been in control of their emotions, has always been able to adjust their emotions where it was needed in their life, but they're not able to do that at this time because of how intense this is for them. I mean, they're literally thinking about, long-term situations, commitments, you know, with this other person when they already possibly are in a commitment. Um, yeah, I would just say, whoever's involved, just, think about, how you're dealing with this. Make sure you are using the knowledge that you have to make good decisions here. Sometimes out of desperation, we make the wrong choices, we make bad decisions. Um, and I don't think that's what you want. I think really you want the wisdom. You want truly to, again, to understand why your feelings for this person are so intense, because I feel like it's so new for you. And I could be talking to somebody in their 30s, 40s, 50s. It doesn't matter. Sometimes things come out of nowhere unexpectedly. And when it's about emotions, emotions are usually something we don't have that much control over. We can be emotionally balanced, which that takes practice as well. But when it's something so intense that you're not used to, that you don't have the wisdom and knowledge about, it makes you feel a little bit out of control, a little bit chaotic in your head, trying to understand what's actually going on here. Again, I would say don't run away from it. Don't push it away. I know that you can't be super open with it, especially if you are connected with someone else. But I would say don't look at it as a bad thing either. Emotions, especially if they're good emotions, are good, because if nothing else, even if you can't create something with this other person based on your emotions, maybe it can teach you something. Maybe it is trying to open your eyes to what you are lacking, what you actually truly desire to have, and maybe that you didn't realize you desired because, again, you've been living your life and in your current relationship the way that you wanted, and it's worked for you thus far. So you were not expecting to come across these random intense emotions for another person who has nothing to do with your current life. So it is stressing you out. But again, take it as a way to maybe open your eyes, to teach you something, not to hurt you or hinder you or make you feel, you know, something negative. It's, yeah, reflection. You're being asked to reflect on your recent choices. What lessons have they taught you? Reflection is the mirror to your soul's growth. Use it to deepen your understanding and intuition. Yeah, like I said, maybe this is just meant to help you look at your current situation, look at your current life, look at the choices you've made thus far, and maybe realize that you want something more. You want to feel emotions, maybe that's why it was meant to catch you off guard, to get you to truly look at it. Because as intense as it is for you right now, it seems like you don't have a choice but to look at it. And sometimes things in life come out of nowhere and they make you stop and they make you reflect when about things that you didn't even know you needed to look at. It's like it slapped you in the face really hard. So you hadn't, and while you were in shock, I mean, it made you have to stop for a second and pause on it. Hopefully nobody's getting slapped here, but unless they want to, but take a chance. It's time to step outside your comfort zone. The world is waiting for you to take a chance. When you do, you'll be rewarded with newfound confidence and enthusiasm and will begin to attract new results. So, regarding this situation, again, I don't know what the exact situation is that you have with your current person, but maybe again, this is trying to give you some wisdom, trying to give you some knowledge here that you didn't know that you maybe needed, that you are missing a key aspect in your life and you've gone through life without it for so long, you didn't realize you even needed it until right now. It's saying, reflect. Right now, you need to look at the fact that your situation is missing a key component. You're missing something that can help you to completely thrive on a different level. And it's asking you to reflect and take a chance on yourself. This is how I feel about this one. Take a chance on yourself. And resolution, whatever it is that you've been struggling with, is about to be resolved. Remember that resolutions don't always happen in the way we hope or want, but being able to move forward and start fresh always brings relief. So, again, yes, this was not something you were expecting. I can see that, but I feel like this is saying it's probably something deep down that you've been struggling with for a while that you just chose not to look at. You put it to the side because your life was working just as it was. There weren't a lot of, complicated emotions involved. On a 3D level, your, needs were met as far as your house, home, your regular scheduled program. It worked for you and this other person. But what this is probably showing you is that you were missing love there. You were missing such a key component. It feels like love is missing. It feels like all other aspects of your life is intact. You run it well, everything works perfect, but you're missing a very important aspect. You're missing the romance. You're missing the love, which is a level of abundance in and of itself. And maybe you've been neglecting yourself and saying that you didn't need it to survive. But I think we all do. I think we all want to feel loved. We all want to feel appreciated and adored. We want someone to walk in the door and look at us and just have that grin that that gives them butterflies just to see you. We all deserve that, especially if you're working this hard and you've created this foundation, for yourself. Love should be easy. Love should be a part of your equation, a part of your recipe that makes this all work together. But you find yourself in a situation where you're drawn to another person, and I think the only thing that you see about that person is these intense feelings of love, and you don't even know how to describe it because I don't think you've ever had feelings this intense before. So you think that they're illusions and you're trying to find ways to push it away and hide, you know, hide the way you're truly feeling. But again, I think it's just meant to teach you something. If, I'm not saying that you're supposed to leave the person that you're with and, throw everything away. If the potential for love with the person you're with is there, then work on that. Then try to grow it there in some way. But it's telling you that it's something that you need deep down, even if you didn't even realize it. You didn't even realize it. Your conscience is telling you to open yourself up to it and take a chance. Well, all right. Well, that's what I have for you guys. Hopefully that resonated for you. If it did, please hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and follow me. Also, when you subscribe, you guys, make sure to hit that notification bell and hit all so you are constantly notified when I upload new messages for you. But until next time, you guys, bye.